I welcome you all, my dear students. Today, we will discuss on the subject of design of machine members 1. Under that, we will speak on three theories of failure. Theories of failure. First one is that in theories of failure, so some of stresses and forces whenever the component is subjected to under different loads, under different stresses, different conditions, the component may be failure. Where that theory is going to be failure, now we will discuss in that one. So what is that here theories of failure is, this theories of failure are those theories which help us to determine the safe dimensions of machine, component when it is subjected to combined stresses, due to various loads acting on it during its functionality. Theories of failure are those theories which help us to determine to save the dimensions of the machine components. Means what it going to be, we can see that in theories of failures, if the safe dimensions will be there for that design component, the theory will be applicable. If the same dimensions is not there, the theory will be the failure. So when it is at that the dimensions, if it is not correct, what it is going to, that component which is it is going to be subjected, to combined stresses. There are so many stresses are there, that combined stresses due to various loads, and acting on it during its functionality. Some of the examples of such components are follows. First one is that IC engine crankshaft. So IC engine crankshaft, if the dimensions is not correct, entire that unit is going to be failure. Okay, the theory will be failure. And shaft used in power transmission, just we are discussing some more examples itself. We are not discussing entire all examples. We are discussing only that one. And then spindle of the screw jack, whenever we are going to lifting, if the screw is worn out or tear out, whatever it may be that. So those things will be that failure over there. It is completely that the screw jack is failed. Another thing is that bolted and welded joints, whenever eccentric loading, suppose corners of loading, if you are going to applying the load, corners, how it can be withstand? It cannot be withstand. That one. So over there, wherever welded joints is there, in that welded joints, load is applied. So it is going to be failed. Another thing is that ceiling fan rod. So whenever ceiling fan is going to be subjected to that tensile stress, okay, compressive stress, I think it is that rod is going to be subjected to that combined stresses. Okay, any stresses is going to be applied on that. So that is that one of the thing will be there. So another part is that, another thing is that we will see that some of the items. So theories of failure generally employed in the design of machine component due to unavailability of failure, stresses under combined loading conditions. Theories of failure play a key role in establishing in the relationship between the stresses are induced. Stresses will be the induced under combined loading conditions and properties of combined from tension test. Combined from tension test. Like what are the different stresses is going to be subjected. One is that ultimate tensile strength. One is that ultimate tensile strength. Another one is that yield strength. Another one is yield strength. Ultimate tensile strength we are going to denote it by SUT, and yield strength we are going to denote it by SYT. SYT. Now we will see that how that SUT and SYT in the graphical representation, how we are going to take it. One here we are going to applying that load. This is that tensile load, we can say that. Whenever tensile load will be there, over there we are going to getting that two stresses are there. That stresses number also I taken. How much load it is going to be acting on that? How much load it is going to be acting on that? That is SYT 200 megapascals I taken, and SUT ultimate tensile stress, that is yield tensile stress, and the ultimate tensile stress I taken 300 megapascals. So directly we can get it a D over there, means the diameter of the rod. We take it. So without using any failure of theories, because of only uniaxial load, that load we are going to calling as so we are getting the D. When we are going to getting the D without using of any failure the theory, because only axial load. So if that axial load is not there, there should not be any problem over there. Then what is the condition of principal stress to that yield tensile stress? The principal stress direction 1 is always less than or equal to stresses induced yield tensile stress. Yield tensile stress. It is less than or equal to sigma 1 is less than or equal to yield tensile stress. So that we can write it as that is 4p by pi d square less than or equal to sigma yt. Less than or equal to sigma yt. So another I have taken another figure here. You please observe. Here I taken twisting moment over there. So that entire part job is going to be subjected to that twisting moment. So twisting moment means J theta by L. J theta by L means L is that length of the rod. Okay. J is that polar moment of inertia. Theta is that angle. Which angle it is going to be made. Another thing is that what is that D? D is that we can find out. Okay. With the help of J theta L, we can be find out. Okay. So what is the P? P is nothing but what uniaxial load. So actually that is the load. Uniaxial load, why we are going to calling? It is only one load we are applying, one side only. Okay, that's why we are going to telling that load is that uniaxial load. Okay, that is it. So different means engineers, the relationship they written theories of failure. Okay, differently they are written. One component will get one theory, one component will get another theory. So those things will be, means the angle of theta is going to be changing whenever the twisting movement. So automatically the relationship also is going to be changed. Okay. Stresses are induced under combined loading conditions. What are the combined loading conditions? SYT and SUT. So yield tensile stress and ultimate tensile stress. So obtaining the tension, which are called as theories of failure. These two terms are we consider in this terms beyond that limit is there. If that above that this SYT and SUT, then we are going to calling as theories of failure. Theories of failures, we are going to applicable only SYT and SUT only. Now we will see that different systems are there. Various of theories of failures are there. So many scientists, they tested on the component and then they did that one. Okay, what is that? Maximum principal stress theory. So that is called as Rankin's theory, Rankine cycle theory. That is called as MPS, maximum principal stress theory. And the second one is that maximum shear stress theory. Maximum shear stress theory. Maximum principal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, and third one is that maximum principal strain theory. Maximum principal strain theory, also known as Saint-Van's theory. Saint-Van's theory. So here, fourth one is that total strain energy theory. Total energy theory. So that is called as Huygens theory. That is a total strain energy theory. We are going to calling as Huygens theory. Another one more maximum principal strain theory, we are going to saying as a Saint-Van's theory. Another one is maximum distortion energy theory. Maximum distortion energy theory. So von Miska criteria and Henke's theory. Von Miska criteria and Henke's theory. So here we will see that we will see that one by one. What is maximum principal stress theory? So maximum principal stress theory is according to that conditions only where that component is to be safe design. That's why we are going for these theories. So ultimate tensile stress where that it is safe, one condition will be there. Where that yield tensile stress is the safe, these two theories only we are going to consider. Means these two stresses only, not for other stresses. Okay, so theories are so many theories are there. 5 or 6 theories are there. 6th theory, which theory we are going to following? We have to make it a note on that. Whenever we are going to designing a problem, so over there we have to design, we have to mention it. So what is that condition for failure? Which theory we are going to following? Maximum principal stress theory. MP, maximum principal stress theory, MPST. We are going to following that MPST. Now we will see that what is the condition. So condition to be failure, that component, where that component is going to be failure. So maximum principal stress, sigma 1 greater than stress. Which stress? Failure stresses. What failure stresses? There are two stresses I told. What are the two stresses? One is that sigma SYT, another one is SUT. And factor of safety is 1. And sigma 1 is positive, then sigma YT or sigma UT. Sigma 1 is negative, sigma YC and sigma UC. Okay, these are the conditions for this thing. So we are going to representing where N is that factor of safety, where N is a factor of safety. So condition for safe design, for factor of safety, we are going to taking sigma 1 is positive, then yield stress. Sigma 1 means principal stress one direction. Sigma 1 means that is that sigma 1 is nothing but principal direction at first direction, second direction and third direction. 3 directions we are going to consider. So over here, first direction, in first direction, both the stresses to be positive. And sigma 1 is the negative, both the stresses. Where the both the stresses? Over there we are going to considering tensile stress. For negative point, we are going to considering that yield stress compressive. Yield stress compressive. And ultimate stress compressive. So if the negative will be there, compressive. If the positive will be there, tensile stress will be there. This is we can remember as a blindly, we can say that. So those two stresses we are going to considering for that two major stresses. What are they? First one is that ultimate tensile stress. Another one is called as yield tensile stress. Both the stresses always it will be having positive, okay, positive sign. Whereas if you come in the picture of that principal stresses, so then the theory will be considered. The theory will be considered as compressive stresses and compressive ultimate compressive yield stresses. So you be very careful in this point. Then condition for safe design. We want always we have to design that component safe. So after ending of we are going to writing in that at the end result in the design problem, the design is safe. Why we are going to writing? We have to compare these things and the values will come below this one. We will write that the design is safe. Otherwise we can't write it. Again we have to go another one more design or one more design. But whenever the values to be satisfied by that yield stress and ultimate stress, then only we have to say that the design is safe. Otherwise it is not possible. Otherwise it is not possible. So that is the one thing will be there. Another thing will be there here. We can consider factor of safety for safe design. So factor of safety always greater than 1. So blind this thing. If the factor of safety is less than 1 or less than 0, why we have to go for design? It's a meaningless. Understand? It is a meaningless. So now we have to take that always factor of safety is always greater than 1. Always greater than 1. So now maximum principal stress, that is the main component of this thing. So maximum principal stress is less than or equal to permissible stress. So permissible stress will be there always less than or equal to maximum principal stress. Otherwise the component will be failure. The design is not safe. At the end of the design, after design, we have to write it all the things, these comments. Okay, where permissible stress is defined as the permissible stress is defined as the failure stress to the factor of safety. Failure stress to the factor of safety. That is equal to yield tensile stress to the factor of safety. It is the ratio of yield tensile stress to the factor of safety or ultimate tensile stress to the factor of safety. Okay, all these things. Now we can get by seeing of these definitions, we can write it as sigma 1 is less than or equal to sigma yt by n, or sigma ut divided by means SUT by n. This is that equation 1. So now we can see that what are the another some more important points for condition for maximum stress principle theory. We can see that this theory is suitable for safe design. When machine components are brittle materials, we have to maintain that brittle materials on under loading conditions, triaxial and biaxial only, because brittle materials are weak in tension. So whenever you are going to pulling for that, so that's why this is maximum principal stress theory is applicable. Maximum principal stress theory is applicable. So unidirectional state stress, that is tau max, we are going to represent it by that is stress. So that we can say that absolute stress. So that absolute stress tau max is equal to, okay, sigma 1 by 2. Means it is that the principal stress is half. Okay, in that we are going to making all these conditions. Why? Because the component should be safe. The component should be safe. So here another one more condition is that the theory can be suitable for the safe design machine components made of ductile materials. Another one is that theory is not suitable. Theory is not suitable. Theory is not suitable for the safe design of machine components made of ductile materials because of ductile materials are weak in shear. So why here one more note is ductile materials is weak in shear. Okay, all these points we have to note it when that design we are going to do it. Okay, thank you. Next theories we will discuss in next video.